This Harpeth River starts about 3 miles over here. This is just the beginning of it, and it goes for miles and miles.
Everybody who lives on this river or plays on this river is responsible for this river.
Right here is where it all begins, at Harpeth Spring near Eagleville in Rutherford County. This is the stream the Harpeth River Watershed Association studies and protects. 125 miles long and home to hundreds of different kinds of natural life, both in and out of the water. It's a historic, a recreational, and a commercial resource for nearly 1 million people who live in the 6 counties where the Harpeth flows.
You know, as somebody who grows up in Nashville, this is the river you come to. This is where nature begins for a Nashvilleian, I think.
A healthy stream has many kinds of life, and the Harpeth has more than most.
Ah, perfect. The fish diversity within this region of Tennessee, and in particular the Harpeth, is extremely special. There's a system up in Michigan, Lake Superior, biggest freshwater lake in the United States and the world. The entire watershed that drains that has less fish species than the Harpeth River does. That shows the diversity that we have here, and why I think it's worth it to understand it and try to preserve it.
More fish species than Lake Superior, and more different kinds of aquatic life than in all of the European continent. The Harpeth River Watershed Association provides technical support and expert guidance to local and state governments, businesses, and individuals who contribute to the river's health. And when the river is threatened, the association gets involved.
This is one of our biggest concerns in the Harpeth River. We're at the Egyptian lacquer chemical release site, and it really smells awful. And the EPA says when it smells like this, you need to wear one of these.
Leakage from underground tanks at a paint factory near downtown Franklin is probably the best known recent example of pollution on the Harpeth. It's so bad on this tributary stream that just breathing the air nearby will make you feel sick.
Tonight on Channel 4 News at 10, what's in the water? The city may have heard about chemicals seeping into the Harpeth River and Liberty Creek.
The situation here is still a long way from settled. The association suggested ways to clean it up at a reasonable cost, and discussions on exactly how to go about that have dragged on for more than 2 years. But a much more widespread threat to the river is not nearly so complicated. In fact, it's very simple: too much dirt.
Number one problem we have on the Harpeth River is silt and sediment. And as you can see, we got a lot of fines here that come down the river. They're washed off of construction sites and out of farms and off the banks of the river. You can see what it does. You see all the cloudiness in the water.
Most of the Harpeth is full of aquatic life, and the water's clear enough for tiny bugs and snails to live along the bottom. But when that loose dirt washes into the stream, it packs in around the rocks, and the bugs can't breathe.
That one's going to be so embedded. When they're so embedded like that, you get absolutely no bugs on it at all because there is no oxygen around.
Much of that muddy runoff comes from inappropriate development, where rainwater runs off pavement and washes away rather than soaking into the ground, and from farms where cattle herds and human activity break down the riverbanks. The association works with developers to promote more sustainable growth, advises local governments on ways to put less treated sewage into the river, and helps farmers maintain healthy streams on their land.
And the erosion was getting worse and worse, and so the Harpeth Watershed Association came in and installed this biodegradable material here and going to plant some trees around that, and that should stop the erosion around this curve. And it's just been getting worse and worse every year.
Just putting up a fence and planting some grass can make a huge difference.
This is a prime example of what this type of stream looks like before we come in to do the work we do. As you can see, it's full of algae, which is mostly caused by nutrients getting into the stream from the cattle and from the agricultural uses in the headwaters here. You can also see a ton of mud out here where the stream's starting to fill in from mud sloughing off from, mostly in this case, again, from cattle getting into the stream and eroding the bank. If you come over here to this side of the road, we can take a look at some stuff that we've done on another property just upstream. And as you can see, we've excluded the cows from this stream, And you can see where we came in and killed the fescue that existed, and we went in and planted warm season grasses that do a better job of trapping the mud before it gets down into the river and taking the nutrients out of the water as it enters the stream.
So this is where we'll need the iodine solution and the sulfuric acid.
The association could not do its work without volunteers, and training sessions like this one go on constantly, building a better understanding of the river and gathering valuable scientific information.
What you've done is allowed the iodine and oxygen to combine, and the manganese drops out.
Tests like this one keep track of the river's health and provide important data for state and federal environmental agencies. And everyone can help. You don't have to be a scientist to care about the river.
Oh yeah, just give a little back. You know, you live on the earth every day. So, you know, coming out and helping pick up trash, just the small things help.
It's really important to me because I live here and I care about the environment. Whenever I'm walking through nature, I just love to be a part of it. So protecting the river protects what I love.
To me, the Harpeth River Watershed Association is a group that helps ordinary citizens like me, people who don't have a background in science or biology, to know what they can do that'll make a difference in the river.
It's a long-term commitment which requires a lot of work and careful organization, hard science and grassroots community action. But it's really about all of us helping each other, because there are so many communities in those 6 counties, but only one Harpeth River.